And I think that we are officially live. Hello! Hello to all of you. Welcome to our players once again this evening. And to anybody else who might be watching, either live with us or after the fact. We appreciate you participating in this with us to some degree. Hope you find some joy in watching and maybe some inspiration to do something like this yourself as we pick up some dice and roll it, all in pursuit of the greatest story ever rolled. I forget what number episode this is. I put 14 when I sent the Zoom link out to you guys because I think that's where we're at. But we're moving pretty fast and furious right now, and so it's in the teens somewhere. But we are trying to, once again, get as many episodes in as possible, as many sessions of this in as we can, before Abby and Maddie move on to more European pastures, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling here again, picking up pretty much right where we left off in our last session. If you will recall, you entered into a sort of clearing in the Wyverwood and saw, I think, 4 bad guys potentially there in a camp of sorts, with a few buildings and a few tents and a variety of other things. And in the evening, you were there in search of children that had been kidnapped by some shadowy figure, who Cole leads you to believe is actually his brother. You'd known that he had some siblings, but he hadn't talked about them much before. But he mentioned that it was his brother, but it wasn't his brother, and he seemed to be very confused, outside of also being very rough.
Oh, which we never asked if any of them was Lev. But we'll get back to that.
It's fine. We'll wrap back around.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. You guys went in and in dramatic fashion laid low these 4 individuals with a variety of methods and techniques that involved becoming bears and flinging firewood to tremendous effect at individuals, and spells cast, a variety of very interesting things. Hands, I think there were a lot of hands involved, if I remember, in the fight. Mage hands and earthen hands galore. And you managed to bring them all into unconsciousness. You guys were very particular about not slaying them dead. Possibly because there's still a bit of uncertainty as to what exactly is going on and who is. Are they evil? Are they not? There's not much known other than that somebody related to this beat up your good friend Cole real bad. And simultaneously, almost, an attack on Baronhold was launched that seemed to involve many Talaru, these kobold creatures that you've bumped into once before outside of a mine shaft and what turned out to be a chancel of passage. And were connected in some way to the icon Enishtala, who visited him in his dream, and whom it was revealed has corrupted him, potentially, I don't know, infected, corrupted, poisoned, something that we don't quite understand exactly what the nature of it is, but there is some sort of thread of connection that feels a bit devious, a bit wicked, a bit yucky at this point in time. You managed to find and free Jen and Paul, and they indicated to you that Truan was here, but that he had been taken into the one kind of building here, a wooden building that Pim, you had managed to sneak around and glance through some cracks in the side walls and see that there is some sort of a small tomb, let's say, of some sort with an opening in it, that this shack had been built around for some reason. And Jen indicated to you that Truan had been taken into that building and had vanished. You took some time to tie up the bad guys to a tree. You commanded Adam of the Deep to remain with the other two children, and he obliged by kind of hunkering down with them between his shields and taking up the sort of camouflaged appearance of a boulder in the forest to await your command. I'm trying to remember because I didn't actually sit and watch through the last bit of it again. But were there any conditions that you'd given him? Stay and watch the kids, and I feel like maybe there was some unless or until, but
yeah, until watch the kids until someone comes and gets them from like the army people.
Until the Halagar
and
comes.
Then once they come and pick up the kids, he can come and meet back up with us.
And he reluctantly agreed to watch over them for you. And once you had rested up just a little bit, not really a chance to rest up much, but you all had opened the door to the shed, and you had descended into this tomb entrance. And I think that's where we left off, right? Any other significant things that took place that you can think of that you wanted to remind yourselves of? You did get a message off through a sending stone. And Elkia had mentioned that they were turning the tide, but still busy, and that he'd send somebody as he could. But yeah, I think beyond that, it's where we left off. So the story goes, you all enter, descending from the kind of warm, late summer, kind of humid climate of the forest, of the Wyverwood, and into a sort of dark and damp tomb. The walls of this tunnel that you're descending down, and the stairs made of stone, fitted and placed what appears to be many years ago. What's the situation? It's a narrow door. I think maybe a sort of one at a time situation here. What order?
Akerley's in the middle.
We walked into this place to try and find the other kid, right? That's why we're going down.
Right.
Yeah. The third kid.
I think I recall Pim and I were out front.
Yeah.
Okay. So what order? Let's make it official.
I think I was first.
Okay.
I think I was second. So.
And then Akerley demands to be in the middle.
Take up the rear. Which gnome is gonna take up the rear? Because that seems smart.
Bitsy can take up the rear. She'll walk backwards. It is dark, you said, right?
It is dark, so that means
I'll tap my light Kaima then and use that charge.
Okay, sounds good. As a soft bluish glow emits from the cerebrium that's attached to the Kaima around your wrist, and lights up dimly the area around you. Yeah. Okay. So we've got our order. And yet you descend. There are steps that seem to lead down, straight and forward. The steps are a bit cracked and a bit uneven in places. And once again, as you descend, you can tell that the stone is old. It's been here a good while. It's lichen encrusted and weathered in ways that are interesting. There's water sort of dripping down the walls in places. You can see the roots of things that have grown down through the floor as you descend through the ceiling now of the tunnel that you are entering through. And the steps continue downward until you get a sense that you are a solid maybe 15-20 feet beneath the surface of the forest floor above, before you reach an area where you reach a floor that levels out in front of you and moves ahead. The light that is cast from the Kaima, it reveals the tunnel ahead of you. I want to say it's probably, I'd have to look up the light spell, but I think it's something like it's like decent light within about 15 feet, and then it gets dim from there, maybe out to about 30 feet. And so you see up to about 30 feet beyond. Those of you with dark vision would see dimly for I think up to about 60 feet. And you can see that the tunnel just goes for a little ways in front of you. It's a little bit odd entering into what appears to be a grave marker, a tomb of some kind, to find stairs followed by a relatively lengthy tunnel that extends out before you. It's still narrow enough that it seems to be maybe one. You could probably squeeze two of you shoulder to shoulder next to each other as you move down this tunnel, but it would be just barely enough, just barely big enough for that. If Adam was here, he would definitely be single file only in terms of his options. Is kind of the scope of this thing. And it seems to continue until it goes out of the side of your dark vision and out of the side of your light spell. Anything I need to keep in mind as far as you all in terms of your approach to this, any preparation or anything else as you continue moving through here?
Are we wanting to be stealthy or are we trying to be fast?
I think because we don't know where this goes or who's down here, we probably want to be stealthy.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Now we want.
Let's go ahead and get some stealth rolls from everybody.
I have a 19.
I have an 18.
Good.
Oh, we said that at the same time.
No. You gotta get something good.
Let's see, that was Pim with the 19?
Yeah.
And Nazra with an 18, did I hear?
Yeah.
Okay, and what else?
14.
12.
Oh, mine was worse. 9.
Bitsy was 9?
Bad, guys.
It's enough, right?
Not too bad.
14's enough to.
Yeah,
we're
I think
good,
my
we're
horse has better
good.
stealth than me at this point.
I got too many jangly pockets.
Now imagining little Wicket trying to move stealthily and kind of half waddling as you're going,
Just like
hearing clinking and jangling and
This is
clinking.
what it sounds like.
Okay. Not a half bad stealth roll. I think it's enough that you get the sense that between all of you, none of you are like worrying. Oh my gosh, we're being so loud. Nothing like that is happening. You feel relatively stealthy as you move forward, kind of following the example set by the middle-aged halfling monk who leads out in front, holding on to his spear, his sling wrapped around his forearm. As you move forward, and yeah, you move along this space, traveling for minutes. Who here? Let's see. I have your information. I just have to look at it. We've got okay. Okay, and lastly, okay.
What does okay mean? Does okay mean like
Like
good
good.
die or okay?
I just have to double check and remind myself of your guys' passive scores every once in a while because I don't keep them in the front of my brain. And Azrael, as you all move forward, based on your passive perception, as the others are kind of focusing forward, distracted by the roots and things that are growing down from the ceiling and kind of creeping and crawling along the walls around you. There are some relatively large roots from well-established trees, obviously somewhere above, that almost are like pillars or columns that kind of work their way down along the side walls of the tunnel. You do manage to get a bit out of the corner of your eye. You see something that feels a bit too symmetrical, a bit too shaped to be natural here. And as you move and pass and kind of begin to draw your attention towards the walls, you can see that the walls bear they bear etchings, carvings, in some places paintings that have been worn down fairly well and have not survived well. But you can see that this, at some point, probably was a relatively fantastic tunnel that had been carved and etched with a variety of things and painted over those carvings and etchings in ways that made this a very, probably at one time, lively and kind of extravagant tunnel. It's really hard to see details of things without stopping and taking a closer look, but you as you pass through here probably would just imagine, without having to look too closely, based on your kind of experience and your knowledge of the world in the past, it begins to make more sense of this, that there are steps, that there is then this tunnel, and that it was in some way an elaborate tomb that just happened to have a tunnel with grave related or sort of afterlife related kind of motifs and things along the edges of this. And so it does give you a sense that you are in fact in an old tomb of some kind. Do
I recognize any particular images or figures in them?
If you want to give me a history check.
I have a dirty 20.
Awesome. So based on your experience, the time that you spent here in Andromar before taking a really long nap back in the day, you spent a little bit of time in the capital city of Alteran, which was the capital of one of the remaining sort of city-state nations. If you recall, in Andromar, all of the nations that had existed here had, over the years of fighting and destroying one another, basically shrunk down to become more like city-states, with most of their land and holdings overrun and destroyed and reclaimed by the wilds. Alteran is the capital of what used to be old Ethlia, and this area here with around Baronhold, and would have technically been contained within the old realm of Ethlia. And you get the sense from the motifs that you see here, some of the colorations, some of the icons that are there, icons related to the sky and the sun and pools of water and things that are done in such a way that give you the sense that this is the tomb of an Ethlian somebody probably relatively well off, perhaps a family member, an ancient sort of ancestor of the Baron, or his family, or maybe somebody connected to the Baron's holdings and estate back in the day before that. So,
and you said that I recognized that it was a place to do with death, right?
Yes, in particular passage into death.
I've been interested since my time through the door in one particular figure that I ran into. Is she depicted in any of these things?
You don't get the sense of her being specifically depicted in what remains or what is uncovered here. So nothing specific without really taking time to dig in and kind of work out and uncover things. It would be hard to tell if there's something under there for sure, but nothing obvious jumps out at you.
Then I'm gonna kind of nod to the walls and what I'm looking at to Pim, and mutter, "It looks like this place was once significant. Tread carefully."
You continue. You continue stealthily for, I would say, probably a matter of, it's not long enough to be a massive trek. I think probably just a few minutes, really, 3, 4, 5 minutes of moving stealthily. You pass a solid 100 feet, picking your way very carefully of tomb before you hit a turn in the tunnel, and it curves to the left and it is a curve. So it cuts to the left and then you enter what appears to be a kind of a curve of a tunnel. A very graduated, very measured curve that begins to go down just a little bit farther. And then you hit a spot where the tunnel itself is lined with architectural elements that highlight a door, an archway, an opening into something. And as you approach stealthily, I guess Pim, you'd be the one in the front. You can see that the tunnel opens up into a slightly wider space, where it was maybe 7 or 8 feet, maybe 6 or 7 feet, I guess, wide. It opens up to something like 20-ish feet wide, and seems to continue moving forward a little bit farther. And as you get to the end of this tunnel, you can see in the distance, maybe 50, 60 feet in the distance, you see a flicker of light of some kind coming from up ahead. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna tell the group that there is light ahead. We want to send someone out.
I mean, you have your Martin.
I do have Caspian. I can send Caspian. But he can only communicate simple thoughts and ideas. So he won't be like, there's 5 guys in there and one's on the left, one's on the right, or some stuff like that. So
I would maybe recommend sending Caspian just because we might be dealing with Talaru things and been infected.
Yeah, I can send
Even
Caspian.
if he's gonna say like there's lots of people, like how many people, even if he just said there are people, we know to be like.
Okay, then I'm gonna pull Caspian out real quick.
Personally, I'd rather have Pim on our side than an enemy unwillingly.
Me too.
Okay, Caspian, here's the situation. I need you to run up to the light, and I need you not to be seen. I need you not to make noise, and I need you not to do anything that'll draw attention to yourself. But I need you to go and see what's up, and if it's dangerous, or if it's not dangerous, if there's people, and what kind of people, but, just as much as you can get, and then bring it back and tell us, okay? Or, just communicate as much as you can to us.
He puts a paw on your lips to stop you talking partway through that, and he just kind of nods, and he like nuzzles your nose, and then he jumps off onto the floor and kind of heads off into the distance. You all just kind of hang tight for a minute while he's gone.
Yep.
Okay. We'll say let's do this. Let's have you roll. I don't have a Martin statistics, so just roll your own stealth for Caspian. Actually, how stealthy are you? Does your stealth make sense?
Stealther, just stealther with some stealth.
Let's go ahead and he's a Martin. Let's give him a +4 stealth.
Okay.
Seeing as he is equipped for stalking or for evading as a creature of the woods.
So he gets an overall of a 6.
Oh, you rolled a
It's
2
the
for
+4?
realsies?
I rolled a 2.
You get it at all?
Okay.
That was a nice thought.
It was. I mean, in theory, it works.
You wait as Caspian heads off. You can see him slink. Sorry, Viper. You can see him slink off out of the circumference of the light spell that has been cast. You can see him slink out of the 60-foot range of just out of the 60-foot range of your dark vision and into the sort of flickering leading edge of the light beyond. And you wait for a moment or two, and you wait for another moment or two, and after about 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, you don't see Caspian coming back again.
No.
You just keep waiting for a little while.
I should have inspired you.
Isn't he back? Why isn't he back yet? Oh no! Betsy's gonna start having a hyperventilate. She's gonna start hyperventilating. Oh, what do we do?
I'll
Oh,
go check
I
it
don't
out.
think Caspian was prepared
What's that?
for this. I just drove in. We need to go find him. Let's go. And she's gonna start trying to like go around everyone.
Sorry,
and start
I
walking
think Pim
towards
just
the light.
offered to go take a look. Do you want?
Okay, Pim, let's go. Come on, Pim. And then she's gonna keep walking.
You're gonna go up. Okay, do you guys?
Are we going?
We're gonna have a hard time stopping her since we can't really maneuver in this tunnel. She just kind of goes under our feet.
Well, you've come out into a larger space. It's about 20-ish feet
yeah.
wide now, and it does continue forward, kind of like a tunnel for a ways, 50, 60 feet out of your sight, but it's like 20-ish feet wide. Do you guys just let Bitsy take off?
As she starts walking, I'm gonna grab her. Just saying.
Caspian can be in mortal danger.
I know. I'm gonna go. I'll go find him. You stay here.
I'll go
I'm
with
better-
you.
I can go too.
No.
Good idea to split up. I mean, Caspian didn't come back.
He's fine, okay? He's fine. He's just might have got lost.
Maybe.
Let's go find him. Let's go. And I'm like try to like peel Pim's fingers off of
Is
my
that a strength check? Are we having strength on strength here?
I'm gonna go limp. I'm just gonna drop to the ground.
Okay. So you're not letting them stop you?
No. I'm just gonna go limp.
Is there room
And
for
then
me
roll
to kind
away.
of maneuver around the two of them and step in front of them?
There's enough room for sure.
Then I'm gonna do that
Okay.
and just head off in that direction.
Okay. Are you stealthy?
Yep, I am.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm gonna
So
start
while
crawling after Nasriel.
while Pim is wrangling with Bitsy, is that what I heard was happening?
Yeah.
Nasriel kind of skirts around you, and she moves off in the direction with her dark vision of the edge of the tunnel. Roll me a stealth check, Nasriel.
Pim, look! Betsy's gonna point at the wall. A bird!
I didn't notice, and Nazriel's gonna just go. Fine, Pitsy, be stealthy.
I have a
Stealthy!
24.
I'm so
The
stealthy.
24, you said?
So stealthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm following. Are we rolling
Okay.
for stealth? Is that what we're doing?
Oh no.
Nasriel took off ahead of you, so she's gonna go ahead for just a moment.
Done.
You,
Not the time to be failing stealth rolls.
yeah,
Yeah.
You should let me do it.
you move forward. And here's what we're gonna do. In a second.
I got a 24, guys.
Okay, you're fine.
Yeah, Bitsy.
I'm worried about Bitsy trying to roll stealth.
Oh.
Too late. Prim has now said that her and Busy are going. Does that mean we're all going?
Akerley
You go,
looks at
and
Wicket,
Wicket
really
will go, and
confused.
so will Akerley.
Caspian was the keystone of this group. We cannot lose him now.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Did the three people that just left us have dark vision?
I have dark vision.
I have dark vision.
I do not.
Pimiver does not.
How are you gonna sneak?
Okay,
through the
so
dark?
here's what we're gonna do. Let me put this up real quick.
No. Oh no! Ah! A map! A map!
That's never a good thing.
And we're gonna say, come on, you're good. Ugh, why is it going to try and do this to me? Give me a second.
Oh, technology.
This was this.
I was gonna say.
That Caspian on an altar on against the wall.
Oh.
Well, this is what all happening. It's like a rave.
Sorry, what is it doing and why is it struggling so
Apparently, one of
hard?
us are moving.
Let's see.
It's trying to refocus.
Oh,
I know it is. Let me see. I can.
focus. Focus.
Okay, adding something to it gave it something to focus on.
It's like, there it is.
Aha. Okay, so let's do that. And Nazriel, because you were first. Let me just zoom out a tiny bit. Hopefully that isn't ruin anything there. Okay. You move down this tunnel, and you can see that in front of you there is a kind of pile of debris, of old stone debris, and kind of vegetative mass, kind of having fallen down and grown over here. And you pull up sort of behind that, and you're able to kind of look out into a space that opens up, and it is lit dimly by what appears to be torchlight that have been placed up around the room in places. And you see what appears to be the inside of a tomb. You get the sense as it expands out through you, you can see what appear to be two kind of stone coffins of some kind that kind of rise up in front of you. And you get the sense that there may have been more, but you can see actual kind of scars in the ground where other coffins had been removed, perhaps smashed and kind of pulled out. You don't know if it's to make space or if it's for something more nefarious. It's kind of impossible for you to tell. You can see that there is a variety of other things that have been stacked and kind of placed and sort of stored here, as if this place had been being used for some sort of a maybe makeshift storage facility to some degree as well. You can see in one corner, as you glance across here, dimly in the distance, a pile of what looks to have been accumulated wealth of some kind. There's some treasure, some kind of glittering, shimmering metals, and there are chests and things that have a variety of things kind of inside and spilling out of them. Beyond that, there's sort of crates and so on and so forth, a few things just piled haphazardly in corners amongst the damp and kind of dimness, here. And you can see across the way, there seems to be a stone bench or a stone table of some kind on the corner. And right there where that practice dummy miniature is, you can see a small form that has been tied hand and foot and kind of tossed in a heap up on top of this, and appears to be the form of a small child in the corner here. And standing in front of that child, you can see the form of a Talaru. And this Talaru is relatively familiar to you. It's not familiar specifically, but you've seen something like this before. You've wrangled with something like this before. The one that's over here next to the sort of stone table resembles the creature that had possession of the staff with a large emerald tooth atop it outside the mine shaft once upon a time. You see the green, and these are red because that's how these miniatures came, but you can see the sort of green scaled bodies, sort of semi-reptilian with a long, almost canine kind of snout, brown fur kind of patched in places, this sort of weird canine draconic hybrid of a Talaru. You can see it there with its kind of decent clothing on. You can see the jewelry that seems to attend these creatures. And you see a second Talaru between you and the far one, and it seems to be moving in the direction of the stone table. And you can see that this one is carrying a variety of oddities upon it. It is carrying many, many pouches and so on and so forth, but also hanging from it and around it, you see a variety of small cages. And you can see that some of these cages contain small forms, woodland forms of some kind or another. You see a skunk tail kind of peeking out of one spot. And you can see that it's holding in its hand another kind of small cage, and you can see it holding up and kind of looking at it, and you begin to hear the chattering kind of language of these Talaru. It's kind of yipping, kind of snarling kind of dialect that they have. And it seems to be very eager and excited about what it's holding, and as you look closer, you see the form of Caspian inside of this cage, kind of looking up and through kind of wooden sort of bars of this small cage, and kind of peering out kind of behind you, and kind of grabbing and shaking the small kind of twiggy holding cell that's inside it as it kind of moves forward in that direction. And it kind of barks and yips a conversation or a comment or two, and the other Talaru turns and looks back over at it, looking relatively impatient. And the boy on the table, who seems to be bound and gagged, kind of turns and looks at the both of them a little fearfully, and kind of tries his best not to move too much. You can see that he is conscious and seems to be kind of looking around, but beyond that, it's hard to tell much about the situation. It's hard to see a whole lot else here. It's hard to see a whole lot else in this situation because of where you are, because of the tombs and how they're situated in terms of line of sight. There are several blind spots across the way, and it's hard to know what exactly is beyond there without getting in closer, if that makes sense. So yeah, what would you like to do? You have a probably 30-40 second lead on your fellows, who seemed to, I guess, see you going and were like, whatever, I'm going too. I think it was Pim and Bitsy that were kind of rushing off. Akerley, Wicket, were you following as well, or are you kind of hanging back?
You can watch all three of them go, turn to Wicket, and arch a brow.
That's not a decision.
Do we follow him?
I guess, and I guess Akerley follows.
Yep.
Okay, everybody else make me stealth checks then again.
Oh no.
And Azrael, while they're trying to stealth towards you, do you...
I have the element of surprise currently.
You do?
Do these Talaru count as kind of humanoid creatures?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a 21.
I'm going to try with the element of surprise
Okay.
to cast Crown of Madness on the one next to the altar. And that's a spell that has 120 foot range.
Okay, it should be plenty close then.
Since I have the element of surprise, can you roll with disadvantage?
I see what you're trying to do here. I see the engineering that's taking place. See it on a wisdom saving throw.
Unless this is not something I can actually use here. I've never used it, so I don't think.
Okay. Give me 1 second to check some stuff.
Doof.
Did we say our stealth rolls yet?
Dad's doing something real.
I say we go in guns blazing.
Okay. So
That
awesome.
might change depending on our stealth rolls.
Okay. I will go ahead and bow to your engineering. And I will roll this at disadvantage.
Right.
And it is going to be a wisdom save,
Poorly.
right? Against your
That's a what?
against your spell save DC, it's a wisdom
Yeah,
save.
it's a wisdom saving throw.
And what's your DC? Remember where that is on your sheet?
That's a great question. Save DC 14.
Yeah, that's
The one next to the spell attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the number next to the spell attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So 14.
Okay. So
Save.
he rolled wisdom. He rolled an 18 and a 5. And that's -1 wisdom. So he rolled a 4 on his wisdom saving throw.
That is what I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay, so this spell requires, let's see. Looking at the casting, it is verbal and somatic, so it requires you to kind of speak words and do movements. And it doesn't specify in here that like a line of light flies out from you or any such thing. It just says that if they
a crown of iron.
it just becomes charmed and a crown of iron appears. So as far as the Talaru are concerned, the one Talaru suddenly sprouts this sort of iron crown, and this light appears in its eyes. And it's as it turns to look at the other Talaru, who just kind of sees and notices this kind of glitter out of the corner of its eyes. It looks up past the cage, almost through the cage that Caspian's inside of, and kind of cocks an eyebrow at it questioningly. Let's see. What do you make it do? Basically, it just can be used to attack, right?
That's a great question. Now I have to double check this spell.
It says the charmed target must use its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. The target can act normally on its turn if you choose no creature, or if none are within its reach. So if you don't choose anything, it'll act normally on its turn until you command it to attack somebody that you mentally choose.
I'm going to urge it to attack the one that has cast.
Okay. So stealth rolls on the rest of you all. How did that go? I heard a 21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got a 14.
14 too.
Okay.
Did you get
Let's hear it, Akerley.
And
10?
This is why we should have run back. Let them do their thing and been safe.
David?
Yep.
While that's happening, can I like move around the room kind of towards the kid?
Let's see. We've got 5, 10, about 15 feet between the two of them. And so
I use that as a distraction.
Yeah, as this creature moves, the creature turns around, the iron crown sprouts, its eyes glow demonically. It you can see almost a puff of sort of green smoke kind of out of its snout as it smiles at its cohort, and then rushes in the direction because it's a melee attack. Just double checking once again. You can command it to make a melee attack, right? Yes, a melee attack. So it is going to raise a spear, and it is going to run in that direction. And as it does so, basically you're in bullet mode at this point. So even though we haven't exactly done initiative yet, I will let you move your movement while this is taking place in a direction that you would like to move. So where exactly would you like to go?
Where am I?
You're right here, kind of hiding back here behind this kind of pile of stones.
They're gonna be fighting kind of right off to my side there. How much movement do I have?
On your character sheet, I think it's 30, 35 maybe? 30? 30.
30 feet, yeah, okay.
That was kind of a surprise-ish thing, so if you wanted to use your action for this kind of first round to dash, you could move up to 60 feet if you wanted to.
Okay, will that get me to the kid?
You want to go right past the two of them?
Can I just run?
Okay, so 5.
I only want to run to him if I can actually get to him. Otherwise, I won't be.
Yeah, with 15-ish feet to spare, if you dash, you can get to him. But you'd have to dash to do it.
And they're fighting now? Okay, I'll dash.
So it happens pretty much simultaneously. You kind of cast the spell. He turns, And as he rushes at his compatriot, you run out of hiding past them. You all, as you move up with your stealth rolls, perhaps one of the reasons that you fail is because of the semi-audible gasps that you let out as you see an Azrael kind of take off into the room beyond. As you all pull up here, we'll and Azrael rushes off past this. Let me make the attack roll for this kobold real quick.
Do well, my puppet.
Interesting.
Interesting as in he succeeded, or interesting as in he failed? Don't leave me in suspense.
That is a 17 plus 3 to hit. I think that's definitely, gonna hit.
Fantastic. Good job, puppet.
I feel like there's a disturbingly small amount of Talaru in this engine.
Nope.
And they were expecting us to come, right?
And you see it swing its spear. And it does 3 points of piercing damage on its first hit. It has multi-attack, so it swings the spear back around quickly for another 4 points, so 7 points of damage altogether as it tackles into this thing. Okay. So this all happens with a kind of frantic squeal. You all see an Azrael run off as you pull up into this space. I'm gonna have us roll initiative now for everybody, since as you run past the unaffected Talaru, it definitely notices you, and as it's being kind of sliced and jabbed and doing its best to sort of try and dodge what's happening, it definitely becomes aware that there is someone here and that there is strangeness afoot. So let's get some initiative rolls.
I have a 20.
Including me, Dave.
Including you. So hold on 1 second. I'll get those from you here in a minute.
I'm just rolling really badly. Things can only get better.
Can they only get better from here?
Can they?
Okay, anyone 20 plus? 20 or up?
I have a 20.
Of course you do.
Anyone between 15 and 20?
I do. I have 16.
Awesome. Anybody from 10 to 15?
I have a 14.
And from 5 to 10, holy Hannah, guys. No 5 to 10s?
Guys.
I got a 7.
Goodness gracious. What's your dexterity?
Mine?
Just Akerley, your straight dex modifier.
Like the number or the plus?
The little number.
+1?
+1. Okay.
Addie, did you get worse than me?
You got below a 5? How is that even possible?
I have a +4.
And
Wow.
that means Bitsy is last for sure.
Does it? Does it mean I'm lost? You sure?
He's just
Yes.
so shell shocked at seeing Caspian in a cage.
How dare they?
Definitely sure.
That's why. That's definitely why.
Okay. a few things real quick. Now that we are in on this, and Azrael, as you move in past, you get a better look at the inside of the space. You can see that, and it's hard to tell. Let me zoom out just a little bit more. You can see that as you come around the corner, that a section of the wall here, you can see, has been kind of cracked through, kind of tunneled and excavated out. And you can see that a new tunnel has been formed, kind of going through the outside wall of the tomb in that direction. You see kind of a darkened entry into what looks like a rough kind of excavated space beyond. And it's relatively dark in there after just a few feet of kind of entering into there, and so you can't really see anything beyond that. But you see the debris of kind of excavation and tunneling, earth and dirt and stone, and you can see that timbers have been brought in and kind of used to kind of prop up kind of the opening that's been created here out of this space. And yeah, so you reach the table. You can see Truin, the young boy, looking up at you with his eyes wide, and a bit of hope enters into them as he sees you come into the space. And that is going to bring us into initiative. And Pim, you are up. So you guys are back here. Kind of, we'll say Pim because pretty quick as a monk. You two kind of behind have kind of come to this space. That's you. Oh, sorry. You. With the kind of golden bobble hair there.
So we're there now. We can see the two.
Yep, you come around. You can see the kobolds squaring off. And without really understanding what's happening, you see that an Azrael has run out right across their path beyond them to a table where you can see the form of Truin.
So currently they're fighting each other.
They are fighting each other at the moment, yeah.
Just let them battle it out.
I'm gonna not even attack yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my action if somebody attempts to attack me.
Okay. Are you gonna stay put, or are you gonna move up into the space?
I'm gonna move into the room so that I'm closer to things.
Okay. Whereabouts would you like to get to?
I'm gonna start moving so that I can go like around the opposite way that Britt just did.
This way?
Yeah.
Kind of around behind the kind of tombs here.
Yeah.
You can get let's see, we'll say you're inside of that square, so.
And what are you holding your action to do?
You can get basically right back around the corner here if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
And then your action is being held. What specifically action would you be holding, and sort of what trigger is going to let you use it? So. And it'll be just an action that you're holding, so not movement. So it's gonna have to be something that you can do from a distance if something's not right on top of you.
So I'm gonna say, how far away are these? Are they more than 10 feet away from me right now?
Sorry. Hold on 1 second. Making sure Riley has a ride home from work.
Is he still holding on to Caspian's cage?
This guy is currently still holding on to Caspian's cage. And ask me that one more time, Kim.
Are they more than 10 feet away from me currently?
Yeah, they're probably 25, 30 feet away from you, and technically they are out of your line of sight, unless you wanted to, like, cool monk kind of parkour up on top of a tomb coffin or something.
Instead of going around
Instead of going
like
around,
a normal person.
Get up on top or something like that if you wanted to, but.
Then I'm gonna say I'm gonna hold if they get within 10 feet of me. I'm gonna summon my arms of the astral self.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Okay, so that's going to do it for Pim, and that is going to, move us to the next situation. Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. Nazriel, as you move up on Truin and see him there, at the sounds of the kind of yipping, squealing Talaro behind you, hissing at each other, we'll say this. We'll say that out of the corner of your eye, you see a bit of a flicker of luminescence, and you turn and look into the tunnel that's been created as it kind of into this sort of luminescent sort of green light, and then a bit of vapor kind of from the mouth of this thing, and starts to kind of spread across the floor and into the room, if that makes sense. And that's all I'm going to do for a second. That's all that happens. But a bit of a shiver maybe runs up your spine as this takes place out of the corner of your eye, Nazriel. And then that's it for a minute. We're going to move now to Wicket's turn.
So they're like fighting each other. There's two of them, right?
Yep.
And yeah, can I see them? Or am I?
We're just gonna say that you all were close enough to see them.
Okay.
So, as you kind of have pulled up here, we'll just get you all kind of up here at the edge of the room for the sake of this.
And how close are they?
The first one's about 30 feet. The other one's about 35 feet. So the one that she's controlling is 35 feet away. The one that's not being controlled is about 30 feet from you.
Okay. I also want to hold my action. Actually, no, I don't. This is what. I'm going to cast True Strike.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Which is a cantrip, and will give me advantage on my next attack roll.
Okay. Is there anything that needs to be rolled to make that happen?
No, it's a cantrip, and it just says, point a finger. Magic grants you brief insight into the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target, provided that the spell hasn't ended, and it's lasts up to a round.
Okay, so for the next round, and you're choosing the one that's not been crowned?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then for movement, if I can see them, they can see me.
Yep.
I'm gonna follow. How much feet is it to get behind the rock that Pim went behind?
You're sitting about 5, 10, 15 just to get just around the corner. You could go around the back corner, be there in 15 feet, and then beyond. I think you have 25 feet of movement. Is that what you have as a gnome?
Yeah.
You could also 10, 15, 20. You could duck between the two coffins or head around the outside edge of the coffin. Either way, you could get behind a bit of cover from the kobolds, the Talaru.
Okay. I'm gonna get.
You want to go your full movement?
Yeah.
Put you basically in Pim's shadow at that point? Or do you want to go between?
I'll go between, so I'm kind of hidden, but also I can pop out and cast a spell or something.
So we're gonna.
I just want to be like just hidden by the corner of whatever, so that I can.
Right.
I don't want to see me.
Okay. So we'll put you kind of right there between those two coffins.
They're not going to see me, right?
They can't see you at the moment, right? Okay. That gonna do it for you?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, guys. We're right in the middle of this, but I have to make sure that that Riley's got a ride. I'm not getting a confirmation from her ride that they're going to be able to go get her. So So what I'm going to do is just pause this for a half a second, and we'll come right back and pick up where we left off. So hold on
Okay.
1 second. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back. Awesome. Appreciate you being patient with that little bit of a break. Okay, I've tried to zoom in just a little bit on this map so that you can see things a little more closely here. And yeah, that was the end of Wicket's turn. And Azriel, that brings us around to your turn. How would you like to use it?
Fantastic.
I will say, in terms of your Crown of Madness, I think you have to use the action on your turn to maintain it. You must use your action to maintain control over the target or the spell ends. Also, the target can make a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turns. So when it gets around to its turn, it'll make one at the end. So if you do anything else with your action, technically, you'll lose the control on that particular creature.
Okay, then I'm going to use my action to re-up my spell.
Okay.
In which case, I need to give it instructions for its turn, right?
Yep. You can instruct it to attack again?
And I noticed the vapor, right?
You did.
And what's this kind of crate-looking thing on the top wall here? In between the boxes and the treasure?
Right there?
Yeah.
Those are just some large kind of wooden boxes. Look like they were used to store or hold or cart some things or other into this place. Well, large sort of almost shipping style storage containers.
Okay, then I'm going to re-urge it to attack the same target.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. I think that it is going to do that on...
I think it's on its turn.
Oh, is that how it works?
The charm target must use its action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself.
So you just re-up. Okay. Okay, sounds good.
So I'll use my action for that. I'd like to turn around at that point.
Okay.
Said the boy is tied, right?
Yeah, hand, feet, and then gagged with just kind of a strip
of dingy cloth. Is he tied like hands in front or hands behind?
Hands in front.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I tell him to basically put his arms around my neck so that he can kind of hang off my back?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even really think about initiative for him. So let me get him set in the order here. 1 second.
Or if I can do kind of loop his arms around my neck as a bonus action, that works too. But either instruct him to do it or do it myself so that I can kind of carry him out of here.
Okay, let's see. If I remember correctly, here's what we're gonna do. I think he rolled pretty much right around where you rolled, Anasriel.
Okay.
I'm going to just sort of tether him to your initiative.
Okay.
And I will have him act basically in the same initiative order with you. So
basically what I want to do, David, is get him on my back so that I can run with him.
Okay. You're going to kind of try and instruct him to kind of get up and kind of piggyback style, kind of around your neck and onto your back. Okay, so I'll let you use your bonus action to talk him into that, basically. I doubt that it requires persuasion. I'm almost certain he has seen you before. He knows Akerley for sure, obviously, via Cole, and all of them are aware of your guys' presence and that you're all part of the group that Akerley is a part of as well. So he's alert enough that that this shouldn't be too much of an issue. And yeah, he's going to stand up. I guess I will have him just do maybe a dexterity check to see if with all his bonds, if he's able to. And he rolls a natural 19. So yeah, he manages to kind of shuffle up and kind of push himself up, and you feel his kind of arms go around you like this and kind of pull back on your trachea in that awkward way of giving children piggyback rides when they don't really understand. what their arms are doing to your windpipe. But
And I adjust with
feel
my
free.
arms.
You bet. Feel free to adjust. So, and then
Can I then use my movement to run him away?
you may. Are you going to run past these Talaru here?
Have I seen Pim at all?
You have not seen Pim. You were focused on Truin at first. Pim would have moved behind you, and even if you turned around now, he's out of line of sight beyond the coffins. He's small enough that he's shorter than the coffins at this point, basically.
Okay. How far in is the vapor?
By this time, it's rolled in probably 10, going on 15 feet into the room, right around here.
I like it.
If I run past them, do they get an opportunity attack?
Only if you get into melee with them. But if you skirt it all the way to the edge of the wall, then you can try and sneak past without that happening.
So kind of diagonally from where I am?
Yep, so be like 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'll do that. And just bolt with him on my back.
Okay. So running back in the direction, I'm just set him up next to you here. He's clinging on as you move in this direction. I think that's going to do it for your turn, and that'll bring us around to the other Talaru's turn. Give me just 1 second. So I think what we're going to do charmed in this way. So it doesn't say that it like re-ups its saving throw if it gets like damaged or anything. It doesn't actually say that. That's a cool spell. So yeah, the sorcerer, the Talaru. Yeah, no, I was just trying to see that if the uncrowned Talaru fought back against the other Talaru, if it was going to knock it out of its crown spell, but it doesn't seem like that's how it works. So that's pretty awesome. I think that the Talaru is going to be confused, horribly confused, but it does know that it has been stabbed twice with a spear, and that it does not like that, not one bit. It's going to assume something really bad is going on here. And it is going to have seen you run into the room and out. I'm going to make an intelligence check for this thing to see if it's putting 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 together here. So
we're just going to attack the person attacking it.
Right. Okay. Here's what it's going to do. You see as it kind of barks out an incantation, it waves its hand in the air, and 3 rays of fire explode from its kind of scaly, sort of taloned fingertips. And one of them is going to lash out at the crowned Talaru that is attacking it. And we're going to make an attack roll on that. +4 to hit, so that's 16, which just hits the other Talaru, and it's going to take. Wow! I rolled 2d6 damage on that, and it was 2 6s. 12 points of damage against the other Talaru. as a scorching ray slams into it. And then the other two curl around as it kind of does this and looks past its shoulder in your retreating direction, and they're going to fly towards you in your direction. So I'm going to make an attack. A natural 20. It's been a while since I rolled a nat 20 on an attack roll for a baddie. So that's kind of awesome. So the first one hits you for sure with a nat 20. The second one is going to slam into you with a 16. Does that hit your armor class?
Does.
Both of them hit you. The first one is going to hit you for doubled 18 points. And that's 18 points of fire damage. And then the second one is going to hit you for 4 points of fire damage.
Oh my goodness.
So that is 22 points total fire damage as these
Just like more than half to my hit points in one go, David.
Right. Sorceress fire slams into you from behind. And you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna roll a d20. Here's what I'm gonna do. You've got a baby on your back.
Baby on my back, is he okay?
I'm going to roll a d20. I'm gonna have you do it. You roll a d20. If it's a 1 to 10, then it hits you, and if it's somewhere between like an 11 to 20, the second one's gonna hit Truin.
Don't let it hit.
Oh, roll so poorly.
You deserve it yourself. If you're a real hero.
What was it?
Did you kill the child?
Was it?
Oh my gosh, you killed the child.
I got an 18.
An 18. So it does hit Truin.
So sorry.
For 4 points. You take a massive kind of you feel fire slam into you, kind of on the back side of his shoulder, just past him as you slam sort of forward. It's very painful. The 18 that hits you.
Takes a 4
And
point?
yes, you hear a kind of soft kind of from behind you as another splash of fire hits Truin. And his breathing becomes just a little bit ragged behind you, but he's still breathing behind you. So, okay, that is going to be it there, and that brings us around to Akerley's turn.
Guys. Oh, I had no idea what that mist is. I only have a few spell slots yet left. So.
And use cantrips. You're just
Except all of my cantrips require me to get like up close to them to cast them. But there's healing stuff that can happen. So, or do I just want to take them out quickly? I'm going to who's like in my allies? Who's in my general vicinity?
Right next to you, you've got Bitsy right next to you. You've got Akerley near you now. She just got slammed with fire. She's probably 7 or 8 feet away from you as fire slams into her from the side. They're the only ones that are right next to you at the moment. The other two are farther in. You know where the other two are, and they're within maybe 25 feet of you or so. 20 to 25 feet of you.
Don't do a lot of damage, but it saves these spell slots that I don't have to use right now. I'm pretty sure you're saving something big. So at will, I'm going to cast Lightning Lure. And I create Lightning Lure. I create a lash of lightning energy that strikes a creature of my choice that I can see within 15 feet. Is he within 15 feet of me? Bad one, the not in control one?
Not quite. So you'd have to move up about 10 feet. Get within 15 feet.
I want to get in within 10 feet of him.
Okay.
So
that would be right about here.
Didn't he move, David?
He did not move.
He's just in the air now?
Who?
Thought he was in the air when he attacked me.
Talaru?
Yeah.
No, can't fly.
Okay.
Can't fly. He just kind of hung tight. He's he was kind of attacking this guy in front of him, and then turned and cast spells at you, but is not leaving melee of the sorcerer. He's keeping him kind of where he can try to control him.
and then he needs to do a strength save.
Okay.
I hope he fails.
Oof. That's a natural 2, so I don't think there's any way he can get there.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So I then pull him. I just lost my page. I pull him 10 feet, and he's now in front of me, and I attack him.
Okay. I'm gonna say as he leaves melee with the other, it's gonna opportunity attack at him with just swipe, and that's a natural 1, so nothing happens.
Aw.
Okay.
Okay, let me pull my page back up again. It loads. And then I do damage. And I think he takes 7 damage.
7 points of damage.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not a big spell.
Okay. Noted.
And he's now within 5 feet of me, huh? Right?
Yeah, he's right next to you now. You see him kind of towards you. Somehow he's still holding this cage that's waving around with Caspian. You can see Caspian's face just kind of as he kind of like slams up next to you and then gets electrocuted in front of you, dripping kind of a couple of lines of blood from where he got hit from the spear just a moment or two before. So, and eyes sort of wide as they can be, but also mostly just teeth bared at pain and anger and kind of frustration at what's going on. About half your size, so comes up to about your waist, a little past your waist, up at you. Okay. Okay. Is that going to do it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So no bonus action.
Wait. No. Wait. It just logged me out again.
I think
I don't think
technically the only thing you would have is another spell. I don't think you can cast 2 spells on your turn. I was just in a game where this came up. I want to say if one of them is a cantrip, maybe you can. And Lightning Lure was a cantrip.
It says I can cast Dragon's Breath as a bonus action. But that takes up a spell slot, so I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. I'm going to say that's up to you. I think if one of your spells is a cantrip, then probably you're okay to cast another spell. But it's up to you.
I don't think I want to fill it.
Can't cast cantrips as bonus actions?
I mean, the spell itself will tell you whether it can be an action, whether it's an action or a bonus action. But the rule generally is you can't cast 2 spells in one turn. But if you have a spell that's an action and a spell that's a bonus action, and one of them is a cantrip, then I think you can cast more than one spell as long as one is a cantrip. So.
Okay.
And specifies that it can be cast with bonus action.
I just don't know what's going to come after these 2 tolerers. I'm trying to save my last couple of spell slots.
Right.
I think I'm going to hold off for a second.
Okay. Sounds good. So that's Akerley's turn. That brings us around to the creature who is crowned, and it's going to snarl following the command it received. Your turn is to run up back to the Stellar again. And
now does it get
with
flanking
advantage? It's going to attack because it's flanking now with somebody else.
Nice.
And it will attack with its spear. is
What happens if it loses
17,
the
21. That hits.
crown?
What's that?
What happens when it loses the crown?
Nothing. It's just a manifestation of the spell, showing that it's under control.
Well, I mean, what happens when you lose control on it?
Oh, then it'll go back to being our enemy.
So should I be hurting it even though it's on our side?
I would focus on hurting the one that's not under our control first.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you feel like we're almost done with that one. But
okay.
If we hurt that one while it's under our control, it'll stop helping us. And
so if we hurt it, it will stop helping.
No, it won't stop the spell, but it'll get hurt faster by the enemies we're having it fight.
Right.
So it hit with both of its melee attacks, but I rolled a 1 on both of my damage rolls. So I promise I'm not just trying to do this for a thing, but I literally rolled
18 points of damage, and then the moment you attack yourself, it's a 2.
Yep, rolled a 1 on this D8 twice in a row. So that one's going over there. I'm not going to use that anymore. We'll use this guy from now on.
But Abby, if you want to hit it, you can, because I have to keep re-upping the spell each turn. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how long I'll keep doing that, depending on how the situation changes.
All my cantrips don't hurt him a lot.
Bitsy, so that's going to be you next.
I think Bitsy's mad. You're muted, Madison.
Okay, so...
Must have just said a lot of really bad words that got...
yeah, I plead the fifth. I'm still back there, so I gotta move up, even see what's happening with this Stellaris. And Betsy's gonna go straight for the guy who's still holding Caspian. So Betsy's gonna move up towards the table.
Why is he still holding Caspian? We're in a fight.
This guy really just needs to let it go. If he knows what's good for him, he just needs to drop the cage. So Betsy's gonna move up to the other side of the table where Tim's at, so she can get a clear shot.
Okay.
So, and then
like right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I see the Talaru then?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet. And then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt. And then go from there. I really want him to drop the cage. So if there's a way, can I just like aim specifically for his arm and just be like, goes there? Need to get him to drop Caspian, or it will.
Technically, that sort of a move mechanically is more of a fighter move, because they have like maneuvers they can do to try and like disarm people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's gonna drop it until he drops. So.
Okay, well then he must drop quick.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, guiding bolt.
Make range on a hit. Okay, forgot a hit is. Oh no. 9.
That's with your +5.
Oh wait. 11.
11. Is not gonna hit.
No.
Right. So you shoot off this guiding bolt of energy, kind of a lavender colored energy. And because of the awkwardness of the run, you kind of slam up against the coffin as you cast it in your hurry to try and get out there and do something against Caspian. I think you probably saw Caspian kind of shaking around as the lightning kind of wreathed the Talaru and came near to kind of wreathing Caspian as well. And in your franticness, you kind of ran out and cast it as you kind of came to a sliding stop, and it kind of went up and off out of the way. So,
hit the sky.
What else would you like to do? Anything?
There's just the vapor, right? That's ominously coming into the room.
Yeah.
That looks precarious. We should probably figure that out.
Who knows about it? Because I haven't warned anyone.
Oh.
Can we see it though?
Pim can see it.
Pim can see it now.
Yeah, Pim can definitely see it. And Azrael or Akerley, you're at a spot now where you now notice the mist kind of coming out. Wicket didn't quite get far enough, I don't think, between those coffins to really notice it yet. But everybody except for Wicket and Bitsy.
Okay, then I can't do anything about something I do not.
Right.
So then we're just gonna sit. I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, we're gonna sit tight for a minute then. Until someone drops Caspian.
Okay. That is going to bring us back around to you, Pim.
Okay, so if I pull out my sling, can I aim directly for the hand of this guy who's holding the cage and try and get him to drop it if I hit him?
Without having a specific maneuver, I don't know that we're going to be able to get him to drop it without just bringing him down to 0 hit points. So your best bet is just to hit the guy. And the only reason I say that is because there are specific classes who have specific features that allow them to do that. So it would be, I think, a cheapening to just let anybody else do it without having that feature. So,
okay. Then I'm just going to, I'm going to pull out my spear and I'm just going to go attack him then.
Okay, so you're going to head up on him?
Yeah.
So you kind of creep out then around. We'll say that you can kind of maneuver past Wicket and through here, and it would be easy enough to get yourself. And you can get right up here. That'll put you kind of right next to Akerley, kind of in the midst of that little kind of space right there, which would get you enough over there, I think, to be flanking with the other kobold. To give you advantage on the attack if you'd like it.
Awesome. I have a 26.
That'll definitely hit. That's a good roll.
I have 11 damage, and then I'm gonna use.
Hold on 1 second. So yeah, you run up and you kind of see it. It is super distracted, which allows you to kind of slide in and get that spear right up, kind of beneath its kind of arm and armor, and plant it in just the right spot. This Talaru crumples to the ground, and you see the cage kind of drop out of its hand and roll off across towards the wall. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this guy. His body's still sort of hanging out there. As this other Talaru kind of blinks in the void. So yeah, what else, if anything, would you like to do? That took you about, let's say, 10, 15 feet of your movement.
Okay. So then I'm going to use a bonus act. Am I close enough to get to the other one too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to use a bonus action and do a flurry of blows on that one.
Okay. Sounds good. So spend some key points.
I have a 17.
17 hits. Yes. Mm-hmm. Him is a blur out of the corner of your eye, Akerley, as he swings in and forms with the spear and almost moves past, kind of pushing the one Talaru out of the way as he runs up, and then just kind of like it's going to strike twice again in the same 6 seconds against the other Talaru.
8 points of damage.
And that's from that attack. Flurry Blows gives you 2 additional attacks, so you can get...
Oh, yeah.
And these are unarmed strikes, so I guess it isn't your spear. It's your unarmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was,
Okay,
sorry,
so
did you say 8?
Yeah, 8. Do I have to roll to hit each time, Dave?
Yes.
Okay. 26 to hit.
Yep. Not a problem.
9 points of damage on that one.
Gotcha.
Uh, 18 to hit.
Actually, it should just be those two additional attacks.
Okay.
I think it says you make 2 unarmed strikes.
Do we want to keep him around to tell him what they were planning?
Hold on just 1 second. I'm gonna go mute. Susan's calling me. Hold on 1 second.
Do they even like they speak English or whatever our language is, right?
They speak a chittering, barking language.
Do we understand that?
Probably not.
I don't think if we can't communicate with them, then it wouldn't matter.
Not in the season where I could do something about that. So.
But
First person to rescue Caspian gets 2 gold pieces.
Caspian's rescued. He's rescued.
Is he?
Yeah, the guy dropped
down the
okay,
guy,
him
so
just
he's
dropped
not
him?
being held anymore.
Okay, so he's not out of the cage yet, so that doesn't count. But good efforts, Pim. I appreciate it.
The DM went dark. Are you guys scared?
DM-less, directionless. What do we do?
Whatever
Our
will
world
we
is falling
do?
apart. We feel the room begin to
I
shake.
just feel
Without
like
its
we
god,
should
there
just
is no
hurry up and
existence.
knock this guy out or kill him or whatever, and then we should run away. That's scary.
I'm afraid of this smoke that's coming out because I feel like it's
Yeah,
We
Okay,
should
now that I've given you
investigate it.
extra time to strategize, erg.
because that's what we were doing.
Right.
Really contemplating a DM-less existence.
Yeah. So you hit this other Talaru pretty well. It's still up and going. This one looks tough. There's something to it that makes it look like it's got almost a thicker hide than its friend did. It's got a few inches on its friend and a bit more muscle mass to it. It seems like more of a fighter. So it's still up and going. It is currently, I think, hanging out, just kind of looking around, confused and delirious, as if waiting for something. The crown, I think, is still in place. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't I didn't do a wisdom save. I guess I do a wisdom save at the end of every turn for Crown of Madness.
Too late. His turn passed long ago.
At the end of each of its turns. I'm gonna redo a wisdom save just to see if it's still crowned. That is a 12 plus. I think it's actually minus for these guys. -1. That's an 11. So that does not save, right?
Nope.
He is still just standing there, kind of looking at the spots that you just like punched in and wondering what's going on. Looks kind of stupefied. So as far as I can tell, with Crown of Madness, taking damage doesn't cause it to do anything. So it's still just waiting for a next command. So okay.
Are we still in initiative?
What's that?
Are we still in initiative if the thing can't do anything or fight us?
We are still in initiative because technically you have to continue to re-up on your turn, or it comes out of the spell. And if you don't command it to attack something, it acts normally on its turn. So
So we want to kill it before Brit's
so
turn?
that is the end of Pim's turn. Oh, that's the end of Pim's turn, right? You're done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At this moment,
of anger. Like the green smoke, guys. I have a bad feeling about the green smoke.
We should just run. We should just get out, guys.
Someone type him up.
Tell your guy to run and just let's all run.
I literally just watched Pim like just stab two guys like in
I know.
seconds.
We were all imagining
Tim
ourselves.
is simultaneously the baddie of our group and the weak link.
He's the baddie that could turn on us, which makes him scary.
It's because I'm good in a fight that me turning bad could be a very bad thing.
So at this point, as the second Talaru kind of stumbles backwards after having taken some slaps, each of you suddenly hears a voice in your head. It hits your head like a spike as this voice says, "I see Cole got my message to you. And I need all of you to make an intelligence saving throw."
Is this magic? Do I get advantage?
It is magic.
Do I get advantage?
No. Bitsy and Wicket get advantage for being gnomes on an intelligence save.
Oh, nice. I rolled well.
Good thing I get advantage.
You said it's intelligence, right?
Intelligence.
I have an 18.
Say again? Okay, so an Azrael 18. Wicket?
It was so bad, guys.
Oh no.
I have a 0 intelligence modifier.
Uh-huh.
And I rolled the same thing on my advantage one. I rolled the same number both times. And it's a number 4.
So you got a 4. Okay.
Oh.
Rachel?
I got a 16.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna
Akerley?
die. I don't want
21. My roll came in for me.
Bitsy?
Plus
17.
17?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, we were wrong. Wicket's gonna turn on us.
Until the green fog touches him, then we'll have 2 enemies.
Great.
I kind of wish you didn't leave Adam behind.
Imagine how confused Adam would be if you suddenly became the enemy. He's like, do I help you attack your friends? Do I try and protect you from yourself?
Probably better we left him behind.
Yeah.
Right? Because you'd just be like, Adam, kill them. And Adam would be like, as you say, Akenbe.
Yeah. We'd be dead.
I don't think it was really fair. Like I picked up the 4 and then it just went straight to the 4 again. I don't think it was like you rolled.
Do it.
As the
You have inspiration, Beth?
Yes, I do, but I've already done an advantage. I don't think you can double advantage on it. Can I do double advantage? Can I use inspiration?
Wait, you have inspiration from me, or did you have Bardic Inspiration? Oh, I guess Bardic.
From you.
Bardic Inspiration would have run out by now, I think.
I had it from you.
But I'm talking about the.
So you already had it. Advantage. So, as the voice speaks in your head, as soon as the words end, there's just an explosion in your minds, like a shattering of glass, accompanied by just a roar like flame, and pain just strikes through your minds. And I'm gonna roll some damage here.
That was a lot of dice you just rolled. How much do you get?
Luckily, 3 of them were 1s. Okay, so here's how it's gonna work.
You coming into this room with a bad idea, guys.
Grab your calculator real quick. Hold on.
He's using a calculator.
Not a good sign.
I only have some.
Akerley,
And I'm already.
Akerley and Wicket. The 2 of you take 27 points of psychic damage.
Wait.
Akerley got 21.
Akerley got a 16. Oh no, who got the 16?
That would be me.
Pim and Wicket take 27 points.
Akerley's taking damage. All of us are taking damage.
Guys, I'm down to like 10 hit points.
The rest of you take 13 points of psychic damage.
Oh my gosh, I'm almost dead.
Wait, even me?
Yes, everybody else besides Wicket and Pim.
It's 13 points.
As this just searing, stabbing pain explodes in your minds.
That's like half my hit points.
At the sound of this voice.
I'm down to 8.
And at
Dude,
this,
I'm down to 7.
I had taken Pim's and
11, so.
And
if
at this moment,
Pim's and Wickets, I would have just died.
as at this moment, Pim and Akerley for sure, you see a figure stroll out from this mist into the room.
He's dead.
The figure is about as tall as an average man, and there's enough that's human about him for you to realize that at least the base of this person's physiology is human. But enough has been changed to cause you to have to look for a moment. You can see in several places along the body that skin has been replaced by thick green scales. One arm is entirely draconic in form, and you can see that it is tipped with long taloned claws. And the scales run up and across the head, which has become slightly elongated, but is still human enough to just cause you almost a queasiness at the wrongness of it. It's trapped in some way in a kind of morph between draconic, a dragonish sort of physiology and the human that was there to begin with. You see scales and horns on one side, and on the other side, a more human face with like long sort of matted hair kind of coming down off to one side. The figure, though, is dressed rather opulently in a robe that looks to have been well tailored, lined with gold and silver detailing, deep maroon along the rest of it. And you can see that it's wearing several kind of necklaces of golden chain and glittering gems with rings upon many of its fingers as it steps out. And that curled in its hand is a mace, a large mace in its draconic hand. And the mace is familiar to you. It looks pretty much identical to the maces that were used by the people that attacked you that very first day outside of the walls, with a sort of egg-shaped skull with the grinning kind of a grinning smile on it, except that it's 2 or 3 times larger, and it's like tarnished and sort of old looking, a bit more weathered looking. The other one's looking much newer. And it sort of raises it as it steps into the room and looks at you. "I'm happy that you've all come," he says. "I guess my little brother did his job right." And he kind of glares and leers and peers at you through the semi-darkness here. This cloud of poisoned mist spooling and pooling out around his ankles as he steps into the room. "My master will be pleased." And that's going to do it for its turn, which brings us now to your turn, Wicket. You've heard a voice at this point, Wicket, but because of where you are, oddly enough, it's a disembodied voice, because you can't really see over or beyond this stone coffin thing that you're behind. What would you like to do?
Do I like hear like it's coming from a direction?
Yep, enough of a Go ahead.
So could I like peek around the corner?
Yeah, absolutely. This back corner, kind of?
Yeah.
Peek out. You're able to see.
I'm scared.
Okay. How far is he?
About 20, 25 feet away.
I'm torn. Should I attack him or should I hide and take a healing potion?
I'm literally looking at my healing potion too.
8. Oh.
As you poke out your head around the corner, his eyes flick to you as he sees you kind of step out, and you see his hand kind of flick up quickly, unnaturally quickly. The one that's not holding the mace, as he whispers, "Intriguing," and I'm gonna need you to make a. The best bet I can have is a dexterity check, not a saving throw, but a check. Just roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
But it's my turn.
I'll let you do dex or strength.
Okay. We'll do. 16.
16.
I'm gonna take my healing potion.
In mild horror, you feel your hand tugged ever so slightly as the wand that you're holding flies out of your grasp and into his. And he kind of raises it and looks at it and then kind of smiles back at you. And what is this? I'll let you continue your turn now.
I'm scared. We should run away.
I think I'm going to hide and take my healing potion.
She like raises
So you're
her
gonna
wand
just kind
and
of
it's yanked out. And she's like, nope.
You're gonna
Nope.
duck back behind here.
Yes, I want to hide again.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my healing potion.
Okay.
Which
I think is 1d4 plus 4, I think.
2d4 plus
2d4. Okay.
Plus 2 hit points. So.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Oh. Plus 6. I'm back. So I'm at 14. And that is my last healing potion. I'll remove that.
Bitsy, do you still have healing spells left?
Guys, he took my wand. I kind of need it. So. And that's really all I could do. I don't have bonus actions or anything.
Okay. Okay, so that's going to be your action to pop the potion, and you're going to kind of just stay put where you are then, is what you're thinking.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Unless I can like hide farther away. Do I have more movement?
Yeah, you used next to nothing to kind of peek out and back again, so I'll still give you your full movement, basically. Well, we'll take 5 feet of movement away, so 20 feet. You could kind of head back in this direction.
But then he could see me.
Yep.
I'm just gonna stay behind the thing and hide.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, that ends Wicket's turn, and that brings us around to your turn, and Asriel.
Really torn because I had already formulated a plan for this turn, and now it's been really screwed up. Otherwise, my friends will hate me.
Okay.
Aww.
That's exciting.
I'm gonna go with my original plan. Sorry, guys. I love you.
What are you like?
Are you gonna
leaving
hit
or something?
Are you gonna hit us with a good range?
I'm going to first of all. If the one Talaru is still under.
Technically, it would require an action from you to maintain it. If you don't maintain the spell, it'll fizzle out for his next turn.
What I am going to do is give him a command. I'm going to give him a command to... Wait, hold on. I need to double check my spell.
Okay. And it would be your action to maintain.
3rd and 20. David?
Yep.
How long is the tunnel we came down?
The tunnel was maybe 100 feet, and then you turned into the curved section, 30, 40 feet, maybe 50, so maybe 100 feet, 150 feet total.
Okay.
Plus the section the 60 or so feet you came across where it's wider, so 200 total feet or so that you've come down since you entered the tomb.
So it's like 200 feet to outside?
Mm-hmm. To just outside the tomb, yeah.
Okay, in which case, here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to let the spell fall.
Okay.
I'm going to use my action to dash. Feeling the weight of the kid on my back, I know I need to get him out of there. And I am going to book it down the way we came. Like throwing caution to the wind. I'm going to be yelling the whole time as I run for Adam.
Okay. So 30 feet total, so that's 60 feet of movement for you.
Go
Yeah.
get Adam.
How long did it take us to get down here, Dad?
And that puts you off the map. 60 feet of that 200 feet has been used
Like a
now.
few minutes.
I felt like Dad said more than 20 minutes to get down here.
No.
I
It
thought
only
it
took
was only
4 or 5 minutes to walk the tunnel down to the section where you sent Caspian off.
Before I go, what I'd actually like to do is use my bonus action though.
Okay.
To
Excuse me.
I'm gonna do my best to help out him just in case, and I'm gonna give him Bardic Inspiration because you can use that for saving throws and attack rolls and ability checks.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. So I'm gonna go be a hero, run down the hall.
Sends a little bit of kind of magically infused bardic-ness in your direction, and you'll have now a d6 that you can add to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw at your leisure.
Is Mote of Potential automatically that, or is that a separate thing?
The Mode of Potential, when granting a creature a Bardic Inspiration die, you summon a Mode of Potential that orbits within 5 feet of the creature. It's there basically every time. It doesn't take an action, doesn't take a slot. So every time you use Bardic Inspiration, you also include a Mode of Potential. So there'll be an additional effect, depending on whether you use the Inspiration PIM for an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw. There will be an additional effect. So,
and I'm actually not going to yell for Adam yet. I'll wait till I get a little further.
Okay.
But I send Mode of Potential Bardic Inspiration to Pim and I run.
She runs out, casting this over her shoulder. A small mote of a particle of sort of glittering energy streaks towards you, Pim, and begins to sort of orbit around your head. A bit of diadem-ish action that you've seen before. Okay, and that is going to be in Azrael's turn, and that is going to now bring us around to that Talaru is out. Akerley.
Oof. How bad do you need that wand, Wicket?
all of my spells are there.
So all your spells you need your wand to cast.
Yeah, I don't. All my magic's in my wand. Otherwise, I have my crossbow.
And this dude's within 60 feet of me, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 25 feet away from you, 20 feet.
Okay, I'm going to use catapult again. That's literally all of the spells I used is catapult.
Okay.
But I'm going to use catapult to try and magically take the wand from his hand and bring it to mine.
Okay, let's just double check the wording here. Does it say you can...
It says any object 1 to 5 pounds.
And you can control kind of where it flings and so on?
Oh, wait, no, I can't. It says that isn't being worn or carried.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So instead, I'm gonna hurt him.
Okay.
As much as that.
Wait,
but did when Wicket hurt him, he hurt her back, right?
Wicket didn't do anything to him. He just poked out.
Healing potion.
Okay, I'm going. You said there was like a pile of rocks, right?
There are definitely rocks and things scattered pretty much everywhere around here. There's also a pile of treasure, like kind of right behind him, of kind of gold and gems and kind of shiny looking items and objects kind of spilling out of the corner over there.
Okay, I'm going to choose the heaviest looking one.
Okay.
Like up to 10 pounds.
Okay.
And chuck it at him again. I think this is my new favorite spell. So.
Okay.
And he has
dexterity save?
Yeah.
Against what now?
Just dex saving throw.
Against what? What's your save DC?
I'm not telling you until you roll.
Okay, sounds good. That is a natural 1.
It was a 15. He had to be the 15.
Yeah, that's not happening. As a barrel filled with arrows kind of lifts up behind him and then slams in his direction here. And slams into the back of his head.
$16, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24 damage. Okay.
Say that one more time.
24 damage.
Okay. 24 damage.
Mm-hmm. And could I do my bonus action, or is not a bonus action not... Can I not do that if I do a spell?
Is catapult a cantrip?
No.
It is not a cantrip. Then yeah, you wouldn't be able to do a spell. Oh, unless you have a cantrip. Unless you have a cantrip that is a bonus action.
No, my only bonus action is Dragon's Breath.
Yeah, you can't cast 2 spells in one turn unless one of them's a cantrip.
Even if it's a bonus action?
Unless it's a cantrip.
Okay.
Okay. So the barrel slams into the back of his head. He does grunt and kind of stumble forward. And you can see a bit of a spray of blood that oddly, it's colored very oddly. It seems to be whatever color you get when you mix red and green together. A sort of brownish kind of muck that comes out as it slams into the back of his head and he stumbles forward again.
Can I move as a bonus action?
You just have movement. But no, you can't move additionally. It takes an action to dash, not a bonus action.
Could I hand something over?
Yeah, I'd be willing to let you hand something off to someone.
Because Pim is still right next to me, right?
Yep.
Can I hand him a healing potion? I don't know if Pim has any on him.
I don't.
I'll hand him a healing potion.
Okay, easy enough. And then are you going to stay put? Or are you going to move?
Yeah.
You're going to stay where you are?
No. I'm going to move behind the other coffin, the one that Wicket's not behind.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Can definitely get back there. And that's going to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pim, you see in front of you the other Talaru sort of shake his head and then kind of at you as it comes out of its stupor, and its spear comes up in your direction.
Sorry.
That is a 9. That's a 9 to hit on the first attack, which won't do it.
That does not hit, no.
And that's a 22 to hit on the second attack.
That hits.
Let's see what D8 is not going to fail me. That's 3 points of piercing damage as it slams into you, and it's going to go ahead and stay put right there next to you.
That was the other Talari?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You actually watched as the crown of iron kind of turned to flowers and kind of just drifted off of his head as Anazrael kind of fled the space. And that's going to do it. Bitsy, that rolls us around to your turn. I'm assuming you've come up with something incredible that's just going to save the day.
No, for an overthinker like me, I've come up with 3 incredible things.
Which one is it going to be?
Okay, so question, who's next up on the chopping block after me?
Based on we've done enough rounds that you know Pim's getting ready to move.
Okay.
This kind of odd, low, sort of canine hissing growl is coming from this sort of abomination after it kind of got hit with this barrel behind it. The cloud of mist, kind of green mist, has spilled much farther out into the room. It's now within maybe 10-ish feet or so of where Pim is. You can almost begin to see it almost creeping towards the corner edge of the coffin behind which Wicket is currently imbibing a healing potion.
Okay. How's everyone else on health?
He took out half of mine.
Okay.
I was at 7. Beth, I think, was at 8, but I think
I'm at 14 now. But isn't Pim at like 4?
I'm at 8. But she did hand me a healing potion.
Okay. So take the healing potion. I'm gonna cast Bane.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just gonna do this big guy and one of the Talaru's down, right?
One of them's down. Yep. So it's just one Talaru and this.
So I'm just gonna
creature.
do those 2 then.
Okay.
And whenever a target that fails the saving throw, so I guess we'll go that far.
Okay.
It's a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
It's such a cool spell. I'm so excited you're using it.
I know.
That is an 22 saving throw for the big guy.
Oh, okay.
And it's a pretty good roll for a little dude. 16 plus charisma plus nothing, so 16 for the Talaru.
Okay, so then they both save.
Okay.
So then it does nothing.
It does nothing.
Oh, guys, I'm not much help this round, and I spent a slot.
Okay.
Just for flavor, to explain maybe, or to help explain why the last 2 spells that you've thrown out have fizzled. Let's say this. Let's say after this sort of psychic damage pierced your mind, the green sort of mist kind of filling into the room and the space, the flickering of the light, you suddenly begin to see this amber-colored destiny sort of energy begin flickering in the room, and it's like highlighting around things, and then it'll flicker and highlight at the coffin, and then a moment later kind of flicker out and then flicker back in, and you'll see it highlighting this creature in front of you, and then flicker out and flicker back in and highlight like a random torch on the wall. And it's beginning to flicker sort of kind of faster and more kind of erratically and sporadically in this space as you are kind of rubbing your head after being attacked psychically. And we'll say that that's kind of interfering with your spellcasting ability a little bit, just kind of for flavor, but also because it makes sense. So awesome. I got food coming.
Well,
oh, sweet.
There's no pizza.
Oh, that's okay. This looks
Went into my first store and they asked me if I was vaccinated.
Oh, really?
And I was like, see.
I guess they're passporting people to get into restaurants these days. So, okay. Awesome. So that's going to be a bit of flavor to describe why that didn't work so well. Do you have anything else that you can do? Bonus action or movement?
I am going to. No, never mind. I'll stay put.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, does he count as a creature that she's seen?
That Anazriel has seen?
No, that Bitsy has seen.
I think he might be a monster. I can only do beast.
And he is a creature, but not a beast.
Okay. So then.
So if it specifies beast, then no.
It might. I thought about it.
It would be really convenient for us if you could just turn into like a half dragon.
I have to go to like some like exotic zoo after we get out of this alive.
Priority number 1.
Make sure Bitsy can become anything and everything.
Okay, that's going to end Bitsy's turn. Pim, that brings us back around to you.
So does it count as my action to take the healing potion?
You know what? I forget what I decided, but I'm fairly certain I've decided that you can do bonus actions for healing potions. So it'll take a bonus action to take your healing potion.
Okay.
Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. If you would you have done something else if you'd been able to, Wicket?
I might have pulled out my crossbow, but it's fine.
Okay. You want to take a pot shot at this guy real quick for me? If you would have done that?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and roll a crossbow attack at this guy.
We take any opportunity to inflict damage if the DM gives it to us.
Right.
I guess it wouldn't matter since I'm rolling terrible. I rolled a 4 again, which is a 9.
Oh, that's too bad.
This guy's just laughing while he's playing with the song.
Do you know what to roll for your healing potion, Pim? You good?
I don't. I was going to ask you.
It was what, 2d4 plus 2, I think you said?
2d4 plus 2. Okay.
Yeah. Right. That's your bonus action, so you still have your 35 feet of movement and your action.
Okay. So I got 7 back. Okay. And then I'm gonna attack the gallery that's in front of me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
26 to hit.
Yep, that'll definitely hit.
And then I have 11 damage.
11 damage?
Yeah.
That is... Okay, you slam into him with your spear and gash him. He kind of drops halfway to one knee, then kind of back up at you again. He is looking exceedingly damaged, but is just on his feet still.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hang tight.
Okay, sounds good. At this point, you hear the kind of growling hiss coming from this creature, the dragonish creature, turn into a bit of laughter once again, and the voice rings back out among you. You do hear him say quickly, "It is futile to resist." I almost said resistance is futile, but that would have gotten me into like copyright trouble or something. It is futile to resist. And then gets more specific. Futile to resist the power that resides within you. This trinket is ridiculous, you hear him say from off around the corner. And then... Hold on 1 second.
Wait, who hears him? Are we all hearing him?
He's saying this out loud.
Okay.
And he is going to...
No.
Let's see. I'm going to need...
I don't like it when you do that.
Right.
It makes me nervous.
Let's see. Another sudden, loud, ringing noise erupts in the space around you. I'm going to need Akerley, Bitsy, and Wicket. I need you to make Constitution saving throws.
Constitution? Can I use my inspiration now to get advantage?
You bet.
Okay. Good thing. Try again. Why am I rolling so bad?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we save, he still gives us a crap ton of damage.
I don't have much.
Right, and the half of the damage which I took last time took half of my hit points. So even if I don't know, guys.
Yeah, if we get hit like we did the first time, all of us are down.
Okay, how did we do?
19.
18.
17.
19, 18, and 17? Okay, that's those are really great rolls, guys. Good job.
It's not gonna be worth anything if we take out damage, Dad. I'll never forgive you. I'll never even forgive you. I'm pulling out personal cards, personal relationship card.
Each of you take 7 points of thunder damage.
Oh, okay.
As this thunderous kind of explosion of energy slams into the three of you. He is going to actually slide over here. And you see as his form kind of, as he reaches around and grabs kind of the edge of the taloned hand and kind of turns and peers between the coffins at you, Wicket. And you see at this point, actually make me a perception check.
She's really wishing she had Adam right now.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna go babysit so he can save you.
You were insistent that he stay behind, and I said I didn't want him to.
We can't leave the children alone. I have 4 bad guys tied up right next to them.
What's your roll for perception?
I have a 4.
Perception of 4.
Why do you keep rolling 4s?
Yeah. Your mind just feels with fear at this point. Enough to kind of keep you from noticing a whole lot. You do smell his breath kind of rank and rotten upon you as he peers down at you and says, he kind of holds up the wand that he took, and I'm going to roll 17 plus. He says to you, simultaneously while moving, says to you, denial is the death of power. And he reaches up and he snaps your wand in half. There's a bit of a fizzle, sort of in a pop of kind of moonstone-ish kind of colored energy. And that's going to be everything he can do for this turn. It's your turn, Wicket.
He's telling you you have inner power.
Okay. 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 Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. Let's see. Bitsy, you're probably... Oh, no, and Akerley. Oh, no. You're not quite far enough around Akerley. Bitsy, you're probably the only one right here who can see. You watch as Wicket raises a hand. The same hand that she normally uses to cast with her wand. As she reaches out towards this creature. And you see the reality crack around her wrist. Just like it does when she normally casts with her wand. It shatters and energy begins to be drawn from that place between into the palm of her hand, and she casts Witch Bolt at this creature. Go ahead and cast.
I got 20 to hit.
That'll do it, for sure.
Yeah, when it matters. Way to pull through.
Roll me an insight check, Bitsy, while we're working this out.
I'm rolling damage, right?
Make a ranged spell attack on a hit. They take damage. Yeah, 1d12 lightning damage.
2d12. I cast it at second level.
Okay, sounds good.
And then on a hit, the target takes 1d12 lightning damage, and on each of your turns for the duration, you can use your action to deal 1d12 lightning damage to the target automatically.
Sounds good. So, Bitsy, you watch as this energy arcs out, this sort of moonstone-colored energy slams into him and creates this kind of quivering, sort of lightning-esque kind of tether of energy connecting her palm to his chest. And how much damage?
14.
Good roll. You see it kind of into him and kind of, and he kind of, and his eyes kind of flicker with kind of moonstone colored electrical energy. And then he looks down at her, and you see the human side of his face kind of curl up in a smile as more of this kind of mist and fog rolls out. There we go, he says. What'd you roll on insight, Bitsy?
I rolled a 12.
As you see this happen, you see Wicket's face in the light of this power that she's drawing on. It doesn't look surprised. She looks a little sickened, and nervous and scared, but not surprised that she just cast this without her wand. And that is going to bring us around to Anazriel's turn. Unless there's, let's see, something else you want to do, Wicket. Can you do a bonus action, or you want to try and move? You know what? He stopped just a little. He's probably just outside of melee with you, so technically no opportunity attacks if you were to try and get away from him.
Okay, but how? So he's like what?
He's like just past 5 feet, like maybe 6 or so feet away from you, 7 feet.
I don't want. Okay, I don't want to. I just want to like back up a little.
Okay. Enough to keep like your witch bolt going.
Yeah, enough to keep my thing going, but a little distant.
What's the range on witch bolt? It is
30 feet.
Within 30 feet. Okay. So yeah, 5, 10, 15 feet. You could go farther. That's about 20 feet away. You could go another. You could keep going back here.
If I do, could I just go around the corner, since that would technically be within 30 feet still?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yep, and that energy's this way.
Is that 30 feet?
That's 30 feet of movement, and roughly.
How about the corner of the
30 feet from him. That's within 30 feet of him.
Coffin.
Yeah.
Does your witch bolt go around? Does it specify that you have to have like a line of sight? Spell action, anything. Also ends if the target is ever outside of the spell's range, or if it has total cover from you. So you can't get out of line of sight with him. But
in which case, I don't want to back up that far, because if he moves a little, I still want to be within range.
Okay. Like,
but
here-ish maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. You back out, and Pim, you see Wicket cross out from between these two coffins, hand raised, and this quivering energy flying out of her palm and towards this creature between the things. You don't see him, but you see the energy. And that's going to do it for you, Wicket?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's going to bring us to Anazriel.
Okay, and I'm running.
Okay.
So I think I'm just gonna. Is there any immediate danger where I am?
Nope.
Okay, great. Then I'm just going to use my action again to dash.
Okay, another 60 feet of movement.
Yeah, cover as much distance as possible.
Okay.
Can I use as a bonus action to take a healing potion? Or because I'm running?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll let you do that. That gets you to about 120 feet out. You've got another 80 feet or so before you break free of the tomb.
Am I within yelling before I break free of the tomb, not the building?
Yeah, you're not even. You're still 80 feet away from the door of the tomb. So you can definitely scream if you'd like to. I'll let you know.
Probably can't hear me from here.
It'd be a bit of a long shot, probably. So.
Okay.
But if you scream really, really loud and Adam gets like a really good perception check, maybe he could hear you.
I'm really loud for an elf. That's what makes me a bardic one. I'm gonna take my healing potion.
Okay, go ahead and roll that then. 2d4 plus 2.
2d4.
And that's gonna do it for your turn, which brings us back to Akerley.
Okay. And to take a healing potion, is that a whole action or a bonus action?
Bonus action.
Okay, so I can do an action, then take a healing.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb.
Okay.
First level. A very familiar. I pull out a diamond and do like the movement, and then a ball of poisonous energy is formed in my hand, and I cast it at him.
Okay.
So let's see if this hits.
You have to have line of sight, 90 feet.
90 feet, yeah.
You choose the creature that you can see within range. You're gonna have to peek out around the corner. You want to do that? Want to do that?
Yeah, I guess.
You could head like diagonally to get some distance.
Yeah, let's do diagonally.
Okay. And just enough to kind of see him real quick. That's only like 10 feet of movement, so you'll be able to move another like 20 feet after this.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I hit. I got a 19 plus a 7 modifier.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
Okay.
Roll damage and then tell me what kind.
Please just drop. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20 damage. I think I've done like 40 something damage on this dude. How much hit points?
What kind of damage?
Poison.
Poison damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see this familiar casting happen. The light appears and explodes against him. It washes against him. He steps a little to the side, and then he turns and he looks at you. You get the sense that the damage didn't do as much as you hoped that it would. Against this guy. And it's his human face that's facing you, and that creepy kind of half smile appears again as he clocks you. Do you want to stay where you are? You've got about 20 feet of movement left.
Yeah, let's if I move to go, I think I'd be hit again. Yeah, let's move. As much as I can back.
You get about there?
Mm-hmm.
Does that work?
And then I drink my healing potion.
Okay. 2d4 plus 2. Okay, that is going to be your turn. That's going to bring us back around to the shield guy, who is going to lash out back at you, Pim, one more time.
Okay.
2 attacks. That is a 15 and a 20 to hit.
A 15 doesn't hit me, a 20 does.
Okay.
Such a high armor
That
class.
is 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay. That is going to bring us back around to Bitsy's turn.
Okay. Ah! Oh, I hate having so much time to think. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I going to How are you looking, Pim?
I'm sitting at 9 right now.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Pim's right after me, right?
Yep.
I'm going to cast Healing Spirit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast it over Pim.
Okay.
Gonna take the form of a black bear.
Okay, sounds good. And the bear doesn't have to be black. It's the form of a black bear, but it's a sort of spirit creature. So whatever color you want that to be is totally fine with me.
Gonna be purple, like a lavender purple.
Sort of lavender bear kind of into space around you and begins to like lick at the wounds that it finds on your body.
So look, my question is, it says whenever you are a creature you can see moves into the spirit space for the first time on a turn.
If you're a creature.
So when I originally cast it, do I have to wait till the start of Pim's turn, or can he take the healing right now?
It would have to be the start of its turn. So the second Pim's turn hits, it'll heal.
Okay.
Him up.
Sounds good.
Okay. Awesome. It's a fun spell. Okay, so what else would you like to do?
Don't have any bonus actions. I'm going to take a couple steps back from this guy.
Okay.
So we're just gonna maybe to the back to the entry of the hallway.
This way?
Yeah.
How far?
Just maybe 10 feet.
What about there?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Pim, that brings us around to your turn. Okay. You're immediately going to take a little bit of healing.
How much?
How much does that give her? Was it 1d6?
1d6. So you can roll it. I wouldn't trust myself to roll anything.
Is it? So. 5.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Probably 10 times better.
Good thing she rolled that.
Mm-hmm. I would have rolled you a 0. That's not even possible.
Okay, so the Talaroo that's here is still up. The one that's next to me, Dave?
It is still up. Looks really rough, but it is still up.
Okay. So can I use my bonus action before I use my action, or
Yep.
do I have to do my action first?
You can. Some bonus actions require you to have taken like an attack action first, for example. So if it says that, then you're going to want to do the action first, before the bonus action. But I'm not sure, like with key point related things, if you have to attack first in order to use them.
My key points I can use whenever. It's just I have a certain amount of them, so when they're out until I take a rest.
Yeah, except for certain things you use your key points for, like Flurry of Blows, for example. It's immediately after you take the attack action, then you can spend a key point to make strikes as a bonus action.
Right.
Patient Defense doesn't matter. Step of the Wind doesn't matter, but just Flurry of Blows is the one that has to be done after an attack action. So.
Right. So if I just do like an unarmed strike as a bonus action, I can do that. Or do I need to do?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Let's see. Yeah, because you're a monk. Let me just make sure that doesn't specify your. Let's see, class features. Attack when you make one unarmed strike as a. When you use the attack action on your turn, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. Okay. So you do have to attack first and then and do it. I was checking. Okay. I thought I remembered that wording.
Sounds good. Then I'm gonna attack the Tularu again and try and get him out of the way.
Okay. Make your first.
Stops hitting me.
You do have. I guess it's an unarmed strike. Okay, never mind.
23 to hit.
Yeah. Yep. Last fight, you ran around invisible most of the time. It's kind of fun watching you actually do monk stuff with your hands.
It's a good thing we handled the fight last time the way we did for this fight, since we didn't get a chance to rest between fights.
11 points of damage, Dave. Banjo. No.
Yeah. No, that slashes through him. You see his eyes kind of go wide, and he drops like a stone to the ground. Out for the count.
Awesome. Okay.
You still have your movement and your bonus action.
Okay. Okay, how far away is this guy from me? Can I get to him in my 35?
5, 10, 15, 20, yeah, with like 10 feet to spare.
Okay. Then I am going to use Flurry of Blows, and I'm going to go try and hit him.
Okay. So, Wicket, you watch as Pim runs and slides limbo style under your witch bolt and back up and kind of runs in a straight line towards this guy, kind of just staying out of the line of your witch bolt, and go for it. 2 attacks.
25 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
9 points of damage on that one.
Okay.
And then 19 to hit.
Yes, that does hit as well.
And then 7 more points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, he takes the hits, and you can see he's starting to look bloodied and bruised as he kind of leers down at you. Do you want to try and leave his melee? You've got like 10 feet of movement, I think, is all that you have left to do this turn. You want to stay put?
If I move, he gets an opportunity attack, doesn't he?
Right.
Okay, I'll just stay put.
Okay. So yeah, he kind of glares at you, and he's like, he says to you, "I can see why my master's interested in you, but this grows tedious." Okay, I'm gonna need.
I don't got much left to do this.
Everybody make a Constitution saving throw. All of you that are left in the room.
I have a 19.
Okay, I heard 19 from Pim. Wicket?
I got an 11.
Okay. Akerley? You're muted.
8.
8. Bitsy?
Oh, I
Also an 8.
Oh, Pam's gonna have everything. Oh, Pam.
Oh, Pam.
Oh, and then Nazriel left me. Oh, Pam.
I'm trying to get Adam. And save the child.
I'm just gonna come back to a room full of dead people.
I don't think I would have been very helpful. If it makes you feel better, I'm looking at my sheet.
You should have just taken Adam in the first place, like Wicket said to.
Oh. Fine, this is not the first time I've died. No, it's not the same.
Way to be an optimist.
I do have to save the dying in my chimera, so like I can't die. But I could, but like I won't. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, Pam got the 19. Wicket, Bitsy, and Akerley. You take 28 points.
Oh my gosh.
28 points of.
It doesn't matter what it is, I'm dead. I'm on the floor.
I'm dead too.
Oh my gosh, what do I do?
And this is the healing
And,
person.
I was
Pim,
gonna
take-
stand back and just go boop, boop.
Pam, you take 14 points of damage.
Oh, I do too?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
say
I'm
half-
down too.
So this is what happens. You all
14 is exactly
The
what I thought.
Azrael is probably best that she left.
I have a
Our
You
stories
all
will
hear-
carry on through her.
you all hear him utter this to Pim. This grows tedious. And then above you there's an explosion of this yellowish green gas just across your vision, and you all begin to cough. And the coughing racks through your bodies and just completely disables any ability you have to think or to act. And then your vision swims with yellow-green. It grows smaller and smaller and smaller until blackness swallows your vision and you drop to the ground, unconscious. And Azrael, you make it through the tunnel to the door of the tomb. What do you do?
I'm through.
Yes.
Okay.
Out of initiative for the moment.
Another term running.
Out of initiative for the moment.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm gonna run through screaming for Adam.
Okay. You burst through the door, the kind of wooden door of the shack sort of shed, screaming for Adam. You hear kind of a grinding, and you see this rock and separate as Adam kind of jerks up onto his feet, his shields swinging open. You enter the space.
I'm not going to even slow down. I'm going to stay at a full run until I get to them. But as I'm running, I'm going to just kind of growl out, protect the Akerley.
You see his face light up brightly, and you see a kind of grimace enter his face. He looks down at the children and then back up at you. Yes.
Oh, I'll take care of the children, and I'm going to swing. I am spacing his name all of a sudden, but the boy on my back to the ground and start to untie him.
Right. You see him. He says, "I will protect the Akerley." And he turns and he takes 2 steps in the direction of the tomb. And you turn to kind of look at the kids and try to make sure that they're okay. And you hear a groan of metal and a crash. And as you turn around, you see Adam has face planted into the ground behind you. What do you do?
Oh no!
Oh no, it's right.
One.
Adam not work if you don't work, Emma?
I don't know if this matters, but I have a chimera that's like filled with Spare the Dying.
What's that?
She has a Kaima with Spare the Dying. Is it too late to cast that?
You do have a Kaima with Spare the Dying.
I have all it means is I'm not dying, so I don't have to make death saving throws, but I'm unconscious.
Right.
Okay.
Technically speaking, that would have brought you back. Make me another Constitution saving throw. Beth?
Natural 20. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah!
Natural 20.
That's what I'm saying! I'm so scared.
Well, I'm not dead, so Adam can work.
So,
Guys, is this
you hide until I can't see you.
let me double check Spare the Dying. Does it bring you back to 1 hit point, or does it just stabilize you?
I think it just stabilizes me, so I'm still on. Because last time it happened, when like Adam had to carry me out of the thing, I was just unconscious still. But I didn't have to make death saving throws because I was stabilized. But
Okay. So you definitely succeed well enough with Spare the Dying that you are brought to a stable thing. I think probably what happens is your vision goes black, a horrifying, deep, inutterable black, and then immediately there's a kind of jerk in your subconscious, and you enter into sort of a dream state and begin to dream the dream of a deep sleeping person. And that's as far as we'll go there. And Azrael, back up top, you see Adam fall. What do you do?
I still fell.
I was really hoping that would change the fact that he fell.
You don't know what any of this is going on. So as far as Azrael knows. What is her initial reaction when she sees Adam go down?
Initial reaction. Sorry, I'm double checking something.
Not a problem.
I can't breathe. Okay.
I suppose since I don't know what's going on, and I don't have something that would like immediately help, I'd probably run over. So the kids aren't in danger, right?
Yeah, no, there doesn't seem to be anybody around.
Okay.
Take him awake.
So
Maybe
I'm gonna
try kicking him like a generator. Maybe he'll get up.
I'm gonna run over and press my Kaima for detect magic.
For detect magic, you launch the detect magic spell, and yeah, I mean, there's no reaction around you. I mean, you cast it over him. As far as the spell is concerned, it's metal and stone. Only things that are on your person light up with your detect magic spell. as he settles there. I'm playing through this in my mind. With the way the spell works that the dragonish character cast on you, Beth, what happens is you get brought back up to 0 hit points. Almost flicker, your eyes are open again. You see green smog, and you go black. You go black to unconsciousness once again. The spell that he used hits you every turn. And so even though you were brought back up to 0 hit points, as soon as your turn came back around, it would have hit you with it again. And even though you rolled a natural 20, I rolled 14, 19, 25 points, which would have hit you with half damage, and you still would have gotten knocked right back into unconsciousness again. So anyway.
Even if my thing, I'm at 26 with my natural 20.
What's that? No, yeah. So natural 20 just in this particular case, it just makes you save. It makes you save against the spell, but even on a save, you take half damage from the spell, so it would have put you right back out again. So yeah, going through that in my mind, you don't detect any magic, and I'll say that as you spend a moment trying to kind of shake, and kind of check Adam, you suddenly hear footsteps behind you. In the woods, you hear a voice in kind of a hurried voice. Yes, an Azrael. As you turn, and you see 2 figures come kind of bursting off the trail and into the clearing. Both of whom you recognize. One of them with his long, sort of dreaded hair and his hand axes. You see Igrame, Quaylin's bodyguard, burst into the clearing. And behind him, you see the off-putting form of Levin, the proxy-bound aide of Oathtaker Losant, comes running into the field behind him. His moonstone eye and his the diadem that's kind of the piece of metal that's on his head. They come rushing together into the space behind you. Igrame sees you, and he says, "Anasriel, is that you?" He brushes
Obviously.
over to you. Where are the others?
We're dead.
In a fight, and I'm gonna gesture kind of erratically towards the tomb.
In the direction of the shed. Down
Yeah.
there.
Down there.
We must help them, yes.
Last I was down there, they were in dire straits. I have no idea what's happening now. And I'm gonna kind of gently kick at Adam with my foot. Say, he just went down, which doesn't bode well.
At this, you look up. Levin, after hearing what you said, has already shot past you, and he is running in the direction of the shed. And Igrame kind of looks up and sees him. Do you wish me to stay here, or do you wish me to go with him? Never mind. And he actually just takes off after Levin, just kind of assessing the situation. Do you go with, or do you stay?
I'm gonna look at the door, look at the kids, look at the door, look at the kids. First things first,
Jen looks up at you as you're doing this. I've got him. If you need to go check on him. She's kind of come over and gathered Truin up off of you, just for whatever it's worth, because you're still carrying a kind of burned, and singed, and injured Truin, and she's got him pulled down. I don't think there's anybody else left here if you need to go help.
Are you sure?
I can take care of them.
I'm gonna look at the door again, kind of earnestly, and look back at her.
You see Levin and Igrame passing through the door about then.
Run if something happens, understood? Don't look back.
Aye, aye, Captain, she says.
I'm gonna go running after them.
Okay. You do. You get to the tomb opening a moment later. You don't see them. You pass down into the stairway and into the tunnel. You see them just kind of at the edge, the very edge of your 60-foot dark vision in front of you. And excuse me. You rush in behind them, and eventually you come into the space, and you can see the two of them standing there and looking around in the space. There's just a hint of kind of greenish yellow sort of vapor and fog kind of left, kind of misting and tendriling away out of the air. It causes you to kind of cough, not enough to do damage, but it's this fading kind of awfulness. We're back in the space.
We're back in the room. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that you guys are, for the sake of this.
Oh my gosh, all my friends are on the ground.
No friends. We're all gone.
We're gone. We're
Oh
gone.
my gosh.
We're gone.
And as you see the mist exit the space, you look frantically around. You can see Akerley is kind of scouting around the room. He sees the bodies of the two Talaru corpses I just pulled off. You said they were here. And you look and you realize that the room is empty of any of your friends. Levin is kind of frantically looking around, and he kind of heads over and stops, kind of peering into the opening out of the room that the mist came out of earlier. He turns.
Careful, friend. I'm gonna warn him. My friends would not have gone down easily.
Akerley stands up and looks at you. This is a bad omen. This whole night, this is all wrong. Much has gone wrong. We lost many men in this attack of the Talaru in town. And worse yet, the Oath Taker has been taken.
What?
And Levin turns and kind of glares back into the space with you, and then he looks back down the tunnel. He points towards it as his eye kind of flares and then looks back in your direction. Akerley says, apparently, he's been taken in the same direction that your friends have. This is not good. And that's where we're going to end tonight, because it is 8:46. And Beth...
a couple more hours.
No, Beth has to head off. Beth has to head off.
I don't have anything.
No, it's almost... It's been very nearly 4 hours already, and so I'm gonna call us
4 hours.
I'm gonna call us here, and we're gonna dive back in on Wednesday because we're just a couple of days around.
And all I'm gonna say is that at kind of that news, that's the final straw, and I end up dropping to my knees, just overwhelmed with some very dark emotions.
Right. Akerley, last thing that you feel there is the scene kind of closes as Akerley kind of putting a hand on your shoulder. And for flavor, and because it's in character, for the first time you hear sound come from Levin, and all that it is, because he's never spoken before, is just a kind of low-pitched, keening wail, followed by a bit of a sob at the end. And that's where we're going to end the scene. That's where we're going to end this episode, and we will pick up from there at the beginning of our next one, which is just a couple days from now, right?
It did not go at all how I was expecting.
Or we end this episode, change our clothes.
Right.
I'm good to go for hours.
No, it's not even that late. It's not
I can change my hair in 5 seconds.
No, I'm gonna let this tension brew over the next couple of days.
Guys, all of
so
you
we're
have
excited
been
to come back
kidnapped.
again. I love it. Exciting things to come. Awesome. I think that's where we're going to end this. Thanks to you all for being here with me, y'all players, and thanks for anybody that might be watching this or either with us now or later for joining us. Join us again. What's that?
Tim's boat is still inside of Adam,
It is.
and Adam's knocked out.
Oh no.
I'm glad at least it's not with one of us because
That's a true story.
yeah, I'd rather it be with Adam.
Right. Yeah, smart move. Awesome. Thanks again for being here with us. We look forward to hanging out with everybody in a couple of days. Until then, have wonderful dreams, and both both night dreams and daydreams. Pretty please. And we will, we'll see you on the flip side. Peace. Talk to you guys soon.